for the day, and he's like organizing this stuff. You know, like the vegetable racks on the side, where like the sprayers turn on every couple minutes and keep the vegetables moist. Vegetables. So he's where they keep the vegetables moist or whatever. And so then he hears someone behind him who says, "Excuse me," and he turns around. It's this little old lady. She said, "I can't find the broccoli." And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry to tell you, there's no broccoli today. We sold out on broccoli earlier this week, and we're not getting our delivery of broccoli until next week. So if you come back next week, we'll have broccoli." She says, "Oh, okay, thank you," and walks away. And he goes back to what he's doing. And a couple minutes later, there's a tap on his shoulder, and he turns around. It's the same woman who says, "Excuse me, I can't find the broccoli." And he says, "Yeah, that's because there is none. I told you there's no broccoli. You can get it next week when it comes in." She says, okay, thank you, and then walks away. And then he moves stations, and he's restacking the oranges because some little 5-year-old toppled all the oranges down. He puts those back, and then he hears again a little woman behind him who says, "Excuse me," and he turns around, and it's the same woman. He said, "Before you ask me your question, Let me bear with me for a second. I gotta ask you to do something." She's like, "Okay." And he said, "Spell cat as in catastrophe. Spell the cat in catastrophe." And she says, "Oh, C-A-T." And he said, "Okay. Spell dog as in dogma." And she said, "Oh, D-O-G." And he says, "Oh, okay. Now spell as in broccoli." And she says, "There is no broccoli." And he says, "That's what I've been trying to tell you." Hey guys, welcome back to the Not So Round Table. Now we have to bleep out that.
Yeah, it's okay. Story. Bleeps are good. Okay. Everybody likes bleeps. More bleeps.
You know where I heard that joke?
You know what the heck?
Harrison Ford said that joke.
Oh yeah.
On I forgot what show it was, but he delivered it way better.
You did a pretty good job. You kept me engaged. I said, "Tell me a story." You did it. You accomplished it.
It was a terrible.
I'll tell you another story of there is this giant sale / convention next week.
Really?
Actually, yeah. Today is, when this comes out, is Wednesday. There'll probably already be... What's your line guess for when this video releases?
I don't know. I way overestimated last time.
So 2 p.m.-ish.
Today.
Wednesday.
When this comes out.
Is when this comes out. What's your bet? I'm saying 15 people in line.
That's much more reasonable than what we all guessed last year. You're going to say 15? I'll say 20.
20? All right, we're close. This is going to be good.
20, maybe 22.
So who wins if it's 17?
I don't know.
Or
what was last year? We had to wear a dumb hat.
I don't know. What's Ryan doing? You already said welcome.
I did.
We've been talking.
Sorry.
That was announcement time.
Airsoft.com. See you guys there in a couple days.
We're going to do an insert on Friday. We haven't decided how we're going to do it or where we're going to do it. It's going to be outside. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
We got a lot of people visiting, so we'll be able to hopefully get some cool people on the Not So Round Table that we haven't been able to have in a while or at all.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, what else is going on?
That's pretty much it. Looking forward to some upcoming events. We talked about those in a recent video.
Faded Giant, you ready?
Yeah.
You ready, Ryan? Faded?
Yeah.
Miguel, you ready for Faded?
Aye, Captain.
Where's Miguel?
Where is Miguel? He isn't bothering us.
It's been a smooth day.
It's been a good day. All right, Matt.
You guys know how the show works. In the previous Not So Round Table episode, you guys put questions in the comments section, in the section down below the video. Those get collected and put into our helm of reasoning. Am I starting us off today?
Yeah, you start us off. I think we should do a theme next week.
Okay.
All right, go.
Okay. You think about it.
I'll think about the theme.
Okay, first question is... Hayden Henry asks, Ensert, what is the best game you ever had is CQB?
Is this his question? Or did Chris put this in here?
What is the best game you ever had is CQB? In CQB? What is the best CQB game you've ever had?
Blue
the
Heron?
best CQB game ever.
Blue Heron count?
That was pretty close quarters.
I don't know. Okay, let's just go with what was your best event or best? What would answer this question for 2016 only?
Okay.
I'm gonna vote with Iron Horse. That night game. Sorry, Sorry, you could
No,
have
no,
rolled with us.
this is your
You could have
opinion.
rolled with us. I'm gonna say Night Game, Iron Horse, Jet Desert Fox, myself, and a few of the other guys with nods ripping into UFS. It was so much fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, so much pyro everywhere, so much room clearing.
Okay.
Very fun, very fun.
I'm not gonna go with an event. I'm gonna go with my favorite CQB game of 2016. Was filming Trouble in Terrorist Town when I was the terrorist 4 times in a row, or the traitor 4 times in a row, and knifed Ryan 3 out of 4 of those times.
Ooh, that's
so
good.
glorious.
So glorious.
I've never had that many
I
back-to-back
can
knife
just see
skills.
the anger in him right now. He's just sitting like this. He's like,
To this day, he doesn't trust me.
hey, no one trusts me, man. Welcome to the club.
No.
That's a good answer.
Gotta
All right.
play to win.
Gotta play to win. Have you been trader yet? In it? We gotta play some more TTT.
I don't think so.
D, hit us up. We need to play more
I
TTT,
mean-
man. I got the urge and murder.
Technically, they're filming. They're doing another game on Wednesday when this is released.
Yeah, I know, but see, you're not available on Wednesday.
I'm gonna try to be.
Since when?
No, I'm saying
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try to be for this one.
Saprison9 asks, I have a question. Good. At my indoor field, I got a bunch of HPA players. I totally hate their ROF. Are there parts available for electronic guns to keep up with these players?
My God! Okay, it's happening.
Have a gun
Everybody
with
stay
their
calm.
ROF.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay Of course there is.
Absolutely.
Because
But I'm curious more
there's
of
no
why your
fields that
field
will allow
doesn't
you to
have
use that.
ROF regulations to kind of put everybody on an even playing field. I mean, Polar Stars have that, or not Polar Stars specifically, but HPA users have that advantage where they don't have to worry about internal parts spinning and all this other stuff, so they
Right.
can perform extremely fast.
Right.
So my suggestion would be to talk to your field and see if they could try to balance it a little bit.
And if that's not an option, there are, of course, other ways to achieve similar performance in electric guns. In the past, you had to achieve high rate of fire by shaving sector gear teeth and short stroking
It's
your
easy
piston
now.
and
Don't
doing that.
even
It's
mention
much
that stuff
easier now. Dual sector gears or sector gears with 2 sets of teeth on either side give you a lot more options in terms of fine tuning, higher rates of fire, and make it a lot more attainable. And they're not terribly expensive.
Do it.
Okay. Wait, that was already. Man, we're moving.
Well, we got to move.
We're moving. George, we don't have much time.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll work around it.
Scott Lee, dear Ensert, do you cringe at the old videos on the channel? Love the show. Keep it up. Big fan from Ireland.
Absolutely. You were in them. I edited them.
So, what makes you cringe about them?
My editing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you look at some of the newer stuff that I was able to accomplish with Boots on the Ground, and even some of the newer This Is Airsoft. Like, you know, like you could see, like, oh man, I was really able to spend a lot more time editing than I was when we had like a white background and we were filming. Like, you know, so it was a much better video quality.
I think in terms of production, you know, like with the old videos, we were working with, you know, a single set of lights. We had the Kinos.
Yeah.
You know, we really didn't have any, you know, multi-point lighting. But our equipment has gotten better. Our editing skills have gotten better. You've grown a lot. And also in terms of content, like I look back at the stuff when we first started, and I really didn't have a whole lot of experience doing that kind of work before. And so I don't
Everything kind of
cringe,
I would say it evolved. And here's the thing: is maybe there were some cringy moments. But Mo Molly, I watched it the other day just because I had to do something, and I just had to watch it for some weird reason.
You know what?
And it was so good.
You know which one makes me cringe? Actually, makes me cringe. The singing mask video.
Yeah, that was before my time.
Super cringy.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad. We should redo that.
We should redo that. All right, you're up.
Keep in mind, I don't really do much editing anymore.
I look so much younger too, which is weird.
You're better,
Only 5 years
you're better
ago.
looking now, though.
It's
You're welcome. It's the haircut. It's the little bit of beard. Because you can't get the full beard.
Here it comes. Yep.
It's okay. No.
No.
That beard works for you. No, you couldn't have a bigger beard. It would look weird.
I want a bigger beard.
But it would look weird.
big bushy beard.
The way you have it set up is very nice.
Thank you.
Like, you know.
I can't join the T-Bach with this beard, though.
Corey Parker asked, Dear Insert, would you ever join the military? If so, what branch?
We've had a question like this before.
Yeah, we kind of went into that.
Yeah.
You were
I think I'd go Marines.
Marines and I was Air Force.
Smarter choice, really.
Yeah, my ASVAB score is pretty good.
I don't know what that is.
That's the military aptitude test.
Oh.
That I took in like high school.
Oh.
I'm smarter now too, so who knows?
Can we join this old?
No, I don't. Not with my health. No.
You seem healthy.
Yeah, multiple knee injuries.
Oh well
no. Then. Multiple knee injuries. No, that's a pretty big DQ.
Dude, I imagine. Like, I wonder if I
You'd be fine.
If I go into a recruiter's office and I'm like, "Hi, I'd like to join the military," and they're like, "What experience do you have?" And I was like, "Airsoft." I know how to operate in tactical situations.
They would take it.
Yeah. Nate Cook asks, when will Matt get his own Airsoft YouTube channel like Jet?
When will you do that?
That's a good question.
When Matt runs a GoPro at every event voluntarily and keeps on track of when he records and does all these different camera angles.
I also need to learn how to edit video, so there's that.
It's not that hard.
It's hard.
No, it isn't. Look,
It's
if
so
Ryan
hard.
could do it, anybody could do it.
I can use Excel.
You could use AutoCAD, okay? If you can use AutoCAD...
This is referencing
Hold on a second.
a conversation that Ryan and I had. We were talking about computer literacy, and I asked him if he could use Illustrator, and he was like, no, we don't really use Illustrator. I was like, how about Photoshop? And he was like, of course Photoshop. And then I said, but I can use Excel. And he was like, those aren't even in the same genre of program.
Yeah, but you can use AutoCAD. I mean, here's the thing. We have two editors behind the camera who that's all they wanted to do is do video side of things. Like, I come from the gaming industry where I was more of 3D modeling and asset production, all that stuff. That's what my background was. I mean, sure, everybody in my field has had a little bit of Premiere experience, and that's pretty much how I started out with this job, and it grew into something, and I really like it. Airsoft's a fun industry to work in, and especially compared to the gaming industry sometimes. But
the only experience I have in Premiere is doing those high school photo montages with music.
Which is, it's the same thing.
It's an advanced.
Yes. Yeah.
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 See, I only did the music side of things.
But AutoCAD, that's a pretty, I don't think Ryan could just pick up AutoCAD and use it.
He's a smart guy. I think he can figure it out.
He definitely, I could trump you guys all, because 3D Max and Maya is very complex.
True. Very true.
So they're
that's all vector, right? Vector based.
Vector? No, it's not vector. It's 3D. It's a 3D application. So you're working with polygons, splines.
Oh.
AutoCAD
has 3D in it.
AutoCAD's
okay, the movie You've Got Mail?
Yeah.
With Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, right? That whole beginning sequence where they start out in the solar system and they zoom up on a wireframe world and it keeps zooming and then it comes into a city and then keeps zooming. That was all done in AutoCAD.
Yeah, I know. That movie Avatar? Yeah, that was all done in Maya.
Whatever. Whatever. All right, that's you.
Whose question was that?
Okay, arguably, that looks way better than You've Got Mail. Duh. Okay.
I don't work in the industry anymore, so but
we'll do a trade for work. I'll make my own YouTube channel. I'll trade Ryan. He'll edit videos for me, and then I'll just draw houses for him.
That sounds like a plan.
For all those houses he's building.
Or you could just, come and hang out. We could teach you a little bit of video editing.
Don't be ridiculous.
Let's be realistic. No, hold on a second. Hold on. Let's be realistic for a moment. If Jet could figure out how to video edit,
that's terrible.
Wow. I'm just trolling, Jet. I'm sorry. Oh, Jet, I'm sorry. That was mean. But Matt, that Matt could figure it out. He just would have to apply himself. That means you have to do this on your free time. Hashtag have Matt or
get Matt to edit.
Get Matt to edit. Use that. Alex G asks, I've got a question for you, insert.
You don't say.
You don't say. Between spring-powered bolt-action sniper rifles and gas-powered bolt-action sniper rifles, which type would you recommend and why? HPA.
Well, we'll talk. I think we'll touch on HPA last. Well, between the two that he asked, there are advantages and disadvantages to both. You go spring power, you have consistent reliability without the need of having to bring an external gas source with you. And that's a huge advantage. You don't have to worry about charging a magazine or charging a bolt if you have a gas bolt.
Very consistent, especially when well upgraded. Look at Novrich's channel and you'll see why.
However, the advantage with gas is sound. Gas sniper rifles are a whole lot quieter. Especially if you're putting a Mach suppressor on the front end, you can really bring down the audible signature of them way, way down. And that makes you more concealable, which for a sniper is, really, really big deal. That brings us to HPA. it's really the best of both worlds.
It's still not completely mainstream yet, though. So
No. But it's becoming more mainstream. But the ability to have a full air tank gives you... It takes away the need to fill magazines, and you've also got the silenceability of air. Boom.
Boom. Matt answered that so well.
I can't wait to turn my VSR 10.
I know you can't.
It's coming.
Soon.
Okay. Daniel asks, Dear Insert, what's the best way to deal with a defective Thunderbee? I was at a Milsim event last year and a teammate of mine had a defective grenade and he didn't have any experience with Thunderbees. He picked up the grenade after letting it sit for about half an hour and he was shaking it next to his ear, which was not smart. And it exploded and hurt his ear and the side of his head. I think we all realize here that the mistake was shaking it next to your head. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
we got to get some EOD up in here.
Right. Okay. So, well, a basic understanding of how a Thunderbee works will go a long way to diagnosing and treating failures. Right. So there's a CO2 cartridge inside, and that has to be punctured in order for the CO2 to fill the balloon that is the shell, and that striker has to puncture the CO2 portion of the shell, and it does that by actuating a rotating striker, a rotating hammer, if you will.
It's a hammer that goes down the pen, punctures the CO2 cartridge. The CO2 cartridge will then fill the balloon thing. The balloon thing, or we'll call it the expansion chamber area, and eventually that shell will rupture and explode and make a noise.
Right.
Now, the reason I'm not a fan of Thunderbees anymore is because they are, one, very inconsistent.
Right.
So this is the reason why I stopped using Thunderbees, is they're very inconsistent. And then on top of that, a lot of people just don't call Thunderbee hits anymore, period. So what's the point of throwing them?
Because they're still cool and they make noise.
It's pyrotechnic stuff that is out there now readily available with pea grenades, and all that kind of stuff is a lot, in my opinion, a lot more fun. Makes
but
a
not
louder
safer.
noise. It is safer because it's consistent.
Let's ask Miguel's finger if that was safe.
That was him being stupid.
You have to assume.
Okay, he had his thumb where the... Yeah, no, that's...
Right. Okay, so the reason it failed is because the striker hasn't completely punctured the CO2 cartridge because the hammer didn't hit down the striker hard enough. And that's because it uses a rotational spring to power the hammer. And if you leave them primed all the time, that spring will wear out very quickly. So one of the ways that you can guarantee a puncture if you have released it and it hasn't punctured, is to just move the spoon out of the way and smack the rotating hammer into the puncturing needle to make sure that the CO2 thing fills the chamber with gas. Keep in mind, though, when you do that, get rid of it quickly because it will explode at this point. Don't do it next to your ear.
Here's the thing, though. So it didn't, from his specific error that he encountered, it did not seem like it was a puncture error, meaning the CO2 cartridge did get punctured.
Unless shaking it.
No, it got punctured. I can think of the failure that he had specifically. That is one way if you don't have a puncture, meaning you will know that you don't have a puncture. The shell will not be expanding.
Right.
It will not be making a hissing noise.
Right.
You can actually tell by the striker pin, if you hold it up, you'll be able to tell that the pin didn't really get hit incorrectly, which your solution will then do.
Right.
Now, the error that he had was it was a puncture. It maybe didn't go quick enough or not enough gas.
Half an hour?
Half an hour, it doesn't matter. It must have been sealed and not
right.
So if you are dealing with a live grenade that punctured with a Thunderbee, this can cause by usually... I'll explain how... Let's explain how to prevent this from happening first, and then how to deal with it if it does happen.
Okay.
Step 1. Fill your grenade with water or BBs. Meaning, by the shells, fill it with a little bit of water, and what the water does is it just takes away some of the air inside. It shortens your time and it makes it a little bit more reliable. I've found pretty good success with this.
Okay.
Or you can fill it with BBs, again, taking up space.
Okay.
I do recommend you use the pineapple style grenade shells, or don't use those flashbang ones, the black ones. They don't work as well because they're very thick shells.
Okay.
So Teflon tape, all these little things can help.
Right.
Next thing,
dealing with one that hasn't popped.
don't pick up the grenade with your hand on the grenade section at all. Try to pick it up by the spoon of the grenade, and what I would just do is just toss it on the ground hard.
Okay.
Meaning, like, if you pick it up by the spoon and just throw it on the ground really hard.
Okay.
If it still doesn't go off,
yeah.
One thing you can do, I don't really recommend it, is if you have good boots, you could try stepping on it.
Okay.
If you want to try to make it pop.
I was going to suggest introducing an air leak so that it doesn't pop by unthreading the grenade
I would not
shell.
hold a expanded shell
Period.
in my hand. Period.
Good advice.
I've had one go off and it was about like this from my hand.
Yeah.
And my hand hurt really bad.
Yeah.
From just the concussion.
Okay.
So that is my personal opinion / suggestion.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good one.
All right. What do you think? One or two more questions?
I think this is the last question.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Hit us. Hit us with it, George.
Henrik Lewick. Hey, insert. Hi. What do you think is the most underrated piece of equipment / gear in Airsoft? Underrated. You said overrated. That's when you and Robo got in your little meat fire.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Underrated. Good boots.
Good boots?
Good boots. Because it's easy to look at your entire loadout and to say, okay, I've put this much money into this and this much money into this, and to come to the end of it and be like, oh well, I haven't allotted a budget for expensive boots, so I'll just get these $20 boots from a sporting goods store. And while they may look the part of a tactical boot, they don't have the support or the comfort or the durability that comes with a high quality set of boots. So I would argue that that's the most underrated because you spend all of your time in Airsoft on your feet.
Speeding. Yeah.
Anyway, you were interrupted by the camera card.
It's okay. So I would argue that boots are the most underrated for me because you spend all your time in Airsoft on your feet, and that's what you should be putting the most amount of comfort into.
That's a really good answer.
What about you?
I'm going to say a good battery charger.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Especially if you have multiple different style batteries, you definitely want to recommend like a high-end battery charger for lipos or anything like that. The Orange Smart chargers all work. They work fine. They're very budget oriented and they'll do the job. But if you want good, solid charging every single time and you want your batteries to be safe, I highly recommend a better charger.
Especially one where you can vary the voltage of charge.
Mm-hmm. So if you're doing
the amperage of charge.
Yeah, the amperage.
Vary the amperage of charge so you can get the most consistent charge through all your batteries. And if you have different sizes,
your batteries,
I'm with you.
Your batteries will last a little longer. It's a little bit more convenient.
It's good advice.
And that is our last question.
All right, guys, thanks again for joining us on the Not So Round Table. If you're already in line watching this, that's awesome. If you haven't lined up or you're coming to join us on Saturday, we'll see you guys there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And the theme
for next week.
We're going to go with...
I don't know.
Let's go with a theme of your... no, I don't know. Do you have any ideas? I don't have any ideas. Want to do like Airsoft.com or a theme? No, it's kind of... I don't know how many questions we can get. Ryan, come up with a theme.
Theme for the next week's insert on Friday?
I got it. The theme for next week's episode, ask questions about Airsoft play strategy.
Boom.
Do you guys have any questions about what to do in a certain situation or encounter or what to do when you reach a wall or whatever questions you have about Airsoft play strategy? Let's see if we can give you guys some tips on making you more effective Airsoft shooters. See you guys next week.
Mic drop.
Oh, we're not doing fist pound?